Hi Floss Tube, happy Monday. I hope you had a great stitching weekend. I certainly enjoyed it. I didn't move from my chair very much except to go to church and then come home, and then I went to my parents' house for dinner and then came home. Other than that, my sister and I, we watched the Shark Week and I stitched. It's Shark Week! Yay! Anyway, here's a report on what I managed to accomplish over the past week since I last filmed something. Well, filmed my work that's in progress. So I finished the wording for By the Pattern, By the Dream. And I've come to the conclusion, I'm going the wrong way. There we go, now it's centered. I've come to the conclusion I probably ought to do a little bit of repeat of my floral border there. Floral border either up here at the top and then again down at the bottom, just, you know, to balance it out, add a little more colors. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll frame it. It'll probably end up in the bin of shame. Right here into the spare box. When I went to church on Sunday, I'm working on this. This is my little church project from Serendipity Designs. Cute little pansy kit. And I don't know if it'll show up real well, but I filled in the creams. Just this little cream here and the white, the ecru right around there. Just that little bit. It was pretty good. I need to take some time and look at the greens from the kit because I think I might have sorted them wrong, and so I'd like to get that all sorted out correctly before too much longer, before I stitch much more green. So that's my Sunday stitch. And then the rest of the week, after I would come home and do an hour of wow and eat some dinner and maybe do whatever evening chores, I'd come home and work on Pretty Little San Francisco by Satsuma Street. You all know what it looks like, but there's the cover photo because I'm old school and print out my patterns. I'm working this on the scroll frames, and so I put in 3 or 4 of the dark stripes here and all of the candy stripes here and the mauve building and Sutro Tower, and this is the start of Quake Tower and all the cloudy fog things. Anyway, I got a lot accomplished, but that's because I just worked on that, and that's kind of what I work on in the evenings, or have been working on in the evenings, because I really want it done. But I think it'll be By the Pattern, By the Dream in the evenings this week while I do the floral borders. Here is, I didn't show this the first time around, Lavender Pansies from the Silver Lining. This was my at-work project until the Lizzie Kate came out. So brought this one home and ironed it. I'm doing it 2/2 on a 28 count, and it's charted for 1/1. I am not a big fan of 1/1 stitching. It drives me crazy. I don't have the patience, and so I love this, you guys. It's just gorgeous. It looks really, really nice. The farther away you get, the better it looks. It looks really pixelated when I'm working on it up close. I tend to stitch about 2 inches from my nose because I am that nearsighted. So that is my former at-work lunch break project. Add that to the bin. And my new at-work lunch break project is now at work, but I filmed a little bit on Sunday so I could show you that. So let's pause a minute here, go back in time to Sunday, and I'll show you what I'm working on at work. Hi Floss Tube, welcome to Sunday. I'm going to show you the project that I will take to work tomorrow, and it will be at work tomorrow when I do my normal This is what I've worked on update. I'm working on Lizzie Kate's new mystery sampler, Spooked, at work, and so there was nothing to show last week because I hadn't started it last week, but here we are. This is what I was able to get done at work during the week. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. about 2 hoopfuls, more or less. When the fabric came and I was laying all the flosses out along the fabric, the ale, I decided that it was really way too dark. Hello, Sweet Pea. You're in the way. You're in the way. Get down. Thank you. Anyway, I decided that the ale was way too dark and the browns didn't show up very well. So I went through my box of linens and fabrics and things and found this naiad from Under the Sea Fabrics, which had come in the mail, oh, maybe not 2-3 weeks earlier. It was a fabric of the month. So pretty, and I like the movement, and it's turquoisey and haunted-y and just kind of fun. I think it'll do really, really well when all is said and done. So that's what I am working on at work. I changed the direction of which way I'm facing because I thought it was a little too dark when I was watching my video yesterday. I usually face the wall that way, and now I'm facing the window, and it's still morning, we get good light. I mentioned something in my very first Floss 2 video about how needle minders were new to me, and I'd been using kind of a different system a long time ago, like in the 02, 03. I would get these lovely medicine pill bottles from my grandma with the super easy to open lid because she has arthritis, and then I would just glue a magnet to the lid. And so here's your handy little Ort jar, and here's your handy little needle minder. You can close it all up so nobody gets lost in your bag. And I use these, and I really, really love them. Anyway, so that's the update on my at-work project and some information on how I use medicine pill bottles for my traveling Ort jars. And we'll take you back to Monday for the rest of the update. So there you go, the Lizzie Kate. It's really cute. I'm really enjoying it. I finished up the leaves today at work, and you'll see it next week when I bring it home and do a little thing and all that stuff. That's all that I'm actively working on right now. So I thought I would pull out my sleeping whips. The ones that I'm not actively working on, that sometimes I think about and sometimes I don't, but various methods or various thoughts. This is a stocking kit from the Gold Collection Dimensions that I'm working on for my brother. And this is the pattern that I mentioned the other day that my dad wandered by one day and asked, how many stitches are in that? And I got to looking at it and did some math and got overwhelmed and quit working on it. So, way to go, Dad. I don't really have any plans to return working on it, but I got, you know, a decent amount done. There's the top down here, all along the one side. I was starting to fill in the trees and the brush that's here and move on down into the toe. I was working on filling in night stuff over here. I just quit. I just put it away. I haven't touched it for a good 10 years, I don't think. Yeah, it's got to have been 10 years. But one day, maybe it'll become an at-work project when I run out of other at-work projects. Some of the at-work projects are things that I think that I want to get done right away, or they're really old things that I would like to work on. So the Lizzie Kate that I'm doing at work is one that I want to get done right away. And the Lavender Pansies is a really old one that I would like to eventually get done. Let's see. Another one that I'm slowly working on or thinking about. I remember this was an at-work project for the job I had previous to the job that I have now, and of course it's Santa's Village, and a lot of us are doing that and working on it. And I used to work on this at lunch, and then one day in 2013 I just quit working on it in lunch, and I did other stuff on my lunch break at that job, and I haven't ever come back to it. It's just been folded up in a little project bag and there it is. So I think about this one, and I'm trying to decide where it's going to fit in the next at-work project. So if I get done with the Lizzie Kate and with Lavender Pansies, maybe I'll take this one in and start to work on it again, or maybe not, because I have this gorgeous, the Nativity from, it's a Stony Creek publication, and I started this as an at-church stitch, but boy howdy is it complicated. So many fabric floss changes, so many different colors, so many things. Let's see, here we go. So you can see I've just sort of got the arch done and a little bit of Mary and the angel, and I had started sort of working on the manger there for the Christ child. And I worked on this a little bit at the theater when I was dressing Mary Poppins, but that one was a hard one because, like I say, it's got a lot of floss changes and colors and blending and all sorts of, it's really marvelous. It's a beautiful piece. So I don't know if one day that will be an at-work project that I get onto, or if I start working on it in the evenings at home. Now this last one, I think as soon as I get done with the Satsuma Street one, this is going to be the one that goes on the scroll frame next. So this is Inspiration by Rosewood Manor, and it's gorgeous. It has some over one stitching down here in the middle, and I can handle a little over one stitching, but I don't know that I was, in the case of the Lavender Pansy, if I really wanted to do a whole lot of it. So let's get this folded up so I'm not dealing with so much fabric. So here we are. I've done, whoops, back up a little bit, and there we are. So I've got the whole top row done. That's about 5.5 pages is a single row across, about 30 pages, but the last 5-6 pages are only 10 deep, so I don't know that they count. And I'm working on it just a little bit down here. That's about a page and a little bit into the second page on the second row. And so my mother, who is the marvelous quilter, absolutely loved this one, and when she saw it, she thought about doing it, but then she was, you know, realistic, like most of us aren't, and she says, I'm never going to stitch that. So I knew that she loved it, and I bought it to stitch it for her. So I started this one back, oh, maybe the very 1st of February, and I'll give it to her for Christmas one of these years when I get around to it. I think that's that for the progress update. There is no stash quisitions this week. I didn't buy anything new or any of that stuff. Well, I bought some stuff, but it hasn't got here, so it's hard to sew stuff that hasn't got here yet. So whenever that arrives, that'll be good. And I guess that's it. Oh, no. Joe Gregor mentioned me in her shout-outs, which was so lovely and kind of her. I really enjoy her videos. She just has a joie de vivre in her life, and she makes me smile, and I like that. Everybody needs something to smile over, and I really got a kick out of her discussion of bowling balls when I watched her video this week. So thanks, Joe, so much for the shout-out. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great week and that your stitching goes fine and the frogs stay far, far away and you're able to accomplish all that you optimistically think you're going to accomplish. And I'll talk to you next week or next time, something or another. So, hugs and stitches. Bye! Hey, Toby! Big. Good boy. Spin. Spin. Good boy. Here you go.